Hello, everybody. This is Tariq Elwan. During the advanced networking unit, I have noticed that some students, not many, but still some students are struggling with basic devices configurations. Since that one represents 10% of your assessment, at the top of any assessment before you do any configuration, such as access control list, VLANs, STP, Ether channel, and so on. Usually at the top part of the lab or the tutorial, we ask you to do basic configuration on all devices. To help, I'm going to show you a very short video which can show you how to configure any of those devices within less than 2 minutes. I put you here a list of the famous or the most requested commands which usually we ask to be posted within any labs. Those are 14 commands, and the one in the top here, sometimes we ask you, sometimes not. Let's see how long it takes to configure a device with those commands. Let's pick a device, for example, that's a router, 1941 model. I'm gonna try to configure that router with basic configurations. So let's start with no. And after that, enable. And after that, config T. Then give it the name. This is router. I'm going to name it router 1 or router 2, whatever the name. If it's switch 1, switch 2, or name it whatever you like. That's finished. Then go with no IP domain lookup. You don't want interruption when you're typing. Go with enable secret. You want to make the enable mode, the privilege mode, is you cannot log into the enable without a password. So usually I use the word Cisco as a password. I usually ask my students to make it easy for me and for them as well. So that's service password if you want to encrypt the password. Sometimes we ask you, can you add something for the banner MOTD, which is a message. Type any message we ask you or we would like to put like that and hit enter. Now, let's go to the real commands, which we usually focus on. The line console, which is the console. I want to make sure that the console is secure. Just put the password Cisco, log in synchronous, and exits. Then let's go to the virtual terminal, the VTY, and let's take from 0 to 4, similar to that. Password, put the password you like, log in synchronous, and sometimes we put, if I want to using SSH or Telnet, whatever you like, put the way you want to remote. Up to here, this is actually the 14 commands which we ask you to do. If you put those ones on devices, as you can see that it didn't take even a minute, you got 10%. Sometimes we ask you to put a minimum security, for example, not every lab, but if it comes to you or whatever, we ask you sometimes, do not make it 10 because it's going to give you a hard time. So just make it 5 or something like that to make it easy for you. So you can put Cisco, one word or something like that. Other than that, you don't need anything except that the interface configuration. Interface configuration, such as, for example, if I have something like that, if I want to configure the G00, they ask me for here, G00 or G01. If you've been asked something like that, it depends on the topology you do. These are the 14 commands. We consider those ones. You need to put it at every device. However, if you come to do the full configuration for the device, such as like that, just type interface, for example, here it is, and put the IP address we ask you to put, and the subnet mask, whatever the subnet mask, and no shut, and we're done. That's it. That's it. That's the interface number G00. You can put another interface, whatever with the interfaces we give you. However, that we call that a basic router configuration or a basic switch configuration if you configure a switch. It's not really hard or something. As you can see that if you configure that, if you type those commands 3-4 times, you will not forget them again. I hope that video was helpful. Thank you for watching.